Hey guys, it's Adam Glass from Central Florida Outdoors, and today I'm going to show you how to splice Amsteel to make a daisy chain mod for your climbing sticks. So you don't need much to splice Amsteel. Pretty much the only things I have are a homemade fid that I made from a knitting needle, and this is a number 10 knitting needle. Number 10 seems to work very well, and a knife. Now this is what a completed daisy chain looks like. You have on here your starting loop. You have all of your mini brimble knots for your adjustments, and then you got your finish berry, and this is the part that's a little tricky and there's not a whole lot of information on. But once you've got your piece of Amsteel, you're going to want to find dead center. Dead center is right about there, and so what you're going to want to do is make a loop that is about the size of your Versa button. And then you're going to, at that loop where you pinched, stick your fid through the left side. Once you stick your fid through the left side, you're going to take the right side and load it in the back of that fid. And then you're going to pull it through. That's going to create a loop. Now once you have the size for your Versa button, you're going to just pinch it, get your fid, you're going to mark on the other line that has not had the line run through it yet. You're going to split the strands. And once you split the strands, you're going to take your first line and run it back through. And now that you have your starting loop, you're going to go down. Now some people will just skip the first like 2 feet before they start splicing at all. Their thinking is that the smallest tree they're going to hunt is going to be at least that big around, so they'll just start out here before they start splicing. It saves them some time. I don't like to do that though, because if you start way out here, then you're going to have all of this big loose gap in between. I like to keep splicing all the way down, and it just keeps itself a lot neater that way. It does take more time though. Alright, I'm going to come down about 2 inches, and I'm going to take my fid and I'm going to stick it right in the middle, being very careful to go right in between the strands. You don't want to split any strands. You want to go right in between them. 6 on one side, 6 on the other. If it's not even, then you just pull your fid out and move a strand over until it's even. Now you're going to load your bottom strand into your fid. You're going to pull it through the top strand. You're going to pull all of the slack out until you get to this point right here. And then you're going to stretch until both lines are tight. And then you're going to mark where those lines intersect. Again, we're going to split the fibers, this time on the bottom line, which has now become the top line because it's crossed through. Again, 6 on one side, 6 on the other. That is important to get the full strength out of your Amsteel. And we're going to load this back in the FID. A little pro tip, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have the end of this taped with a little bit of electrical tape. Makes it so much easier. Now, once you've run that end back through, you now have your completed Bremel knot. The only thing you need to make sure of is that these two lines are the same length. If they aren't the same length, then you're going to be putting more load on one line than the other. Again, reducing the strength of the overall system. So I'm going to show you guys one more time. I'm going to measure down about 2 inches. I'm going to take the top line. I'm going to bunch it up a little bit. I'm going to split it. We're going to go through. After we've pulled it tight, I'm going to mark it. Split it again. Take our bottom line and run it back through the top line. Just remember, the bottom line always runs through the top line. You always want to split the top and run the bottom through it. And there you go. There's 2 completed links along with your starting loop. And you're just going to continue this all the way down until you have about 8 to 10 inches left. Alright, so once you've spliced all the way to the end, you've left about an 8 to 9 inch tag end. The next step is to turn this into your finished loop. You want this to end up looking like this. So here's how we're going to go about doing that. You're going to take your FID and stick it through the top one last time. We're going to do one last Bremel knot. And what you want to do is you want to basically split your tag end. So however much I have here, I want about the same amount here. So when I bury, I can bury pretty much all the way up to this last Bremel knot. Alright, we split the bottom one, which is now on top. That's going to make our last Bremel knot. So now that you have your final Bremel knot completed, what you're basically going to do is take each tag that you have left over and run it back through itself. So we're working the FID into the center of the core. We're going to go down as far as we can, and then we're just going to bust through, and then we're going to work this up onto the FID. It's worked up onto the FID, feed the tag end in, pull it through, now pull it down. Now, the secret is we're going to keep doing that all the way down to here. Like I said, this part's really frustrating. The best tip I have for you is just go slow. Don't try to get too many knits at one time. And what you'll see is the farther you go, the fewer knits you can take at each time. Probably goes down by about 2 to 3 knits every time you have to take your needle out. Alright, so here's what we have. We have our Bremel knot right here, and then we have both ends that have been buried through. What we've done is we've just taken what's left of the tag, we've pulled up on it, and that's bunched this all up on top, which is where we want it for now, because we need to trim our tag ends. Alright, so now what we have is we have this tag line trimmed down, and then we have it thinned down on the end to only about 6 strands, and then it goes to 12 here. That's just going to give us a nice taper. Now we're just going to milk this down, starting at the brimble knot. Going to milk it. You'll just watch that disappear. It'll suck right up in there. Now it's gone. So now we're just going to do the same thing on this side. There you go, guys. I hope that information helped you. If you guys have any questions, just be sure and leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure and answer them for you if I know. Also, if this information did help you guys, I hope you'll consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.